Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we have Avro Mukherji, one of our interns in the chess program, ChessMaster2000 Roadmap to Chess Mastery, powered by InnoMind Digital Academy. So we'll ask him about his personal life, his chess journey, and how InnoMind Digital Academy's Roadmap to ChessMaster 2000 program has helped him to evolve as a better player if it has already done that. So without further ado, let us welcome Avro Mukherji to the program. Welcome, Avro.
Thank you so much for having me here, and a very warm good morning to all of you.
Good morning. Good morning. Please introduce yourself and tell us about your personal, professional life, what you do. I believe that you're an investment banker, you're a wealth
Right,
advisor, and you hail from Gurgaon, right? So can you please
right.
introduce yourself?
Sure, sure. So I'm a banker by profession. I have over 15 years of work experience, and I'm working as a wealth specialist with Axis Bank.
Okay.
So, I'm originally from Kolkata. So my parents stay in Kolkata, and I'm working in Gurgaon. And it has been 2 years now that I'm in Gurgaon. Before that, I was in Mumbai for last 15 years. So,
Okay.
so as far as you can say a hobby or where the interest lies is, of course, chess. And previously, of course, I used to play randomly, without knowing any concepts and things like that. And during this lockdown, I thought, why not devote some time and learn it in a better way so that, of course, it improves the game for me. And also the thought that I had in mind is that so my daughter is 5 year old, and I thought before I introduce her to a game like chess, probably I should learn it a little in depth, so that probably what I pass it on to her should be in a more proper way. So that was also the thought. So that's how I enrolled with your institute for the course. And I must say it has been a good journey so far. My learnings have been great. There are a lot of things which I have learned from the concept point of view as well. And yes, I hope with the objective of course, me being a better player, that's a work in progress. I'm practicing more and playing more online and improving my rankings there. But also, from the learning perspective, it helps that at least fundamentally, the basic concepts, the basic principles, if I learn it well, and then I can pass it on to my daughter maybe in future.
Definitely. So you need to understand the fundamentals if you want to get strong in any sports or anything for that matter.
Sure.
So can you tell me about how you got interested in chess and before you enrolled for the program?
So initial days, when I was a child, I used to play with my father, and my father used to play really well, and that's where, and of course, I used to get defeated all the time, and that's how So 12th, after the 12th board exam, there was a brief period before you get enroll yourself to college. So, most of the days we would spend our time playing chess. But of course, after that, when you are in college, and in college again, so I have studied B Farm from Jadavpur University in Kolkata. And in Jadavpur University, there used to be some rapid chess tournaments as well. So we played little bit there as well. But of course, after that, once you start working, then everything takes a back seat, and that's what happened. So very recently, you can say, maybe a year back or so. Again, I got interested and started. And how it started this time is that I watch a lot of YouTube videos. Okay, but that's again a pastime where you go to the internet and watch videos. So I chanced upon few chess videos there as well. And if I remember correctly, Mr. Ben Feingold is, if
Yes.
I'm right with the name. So I liked his videos because he has a very unique style of expressing himself. And so that's how I got glued on and started watching his videos. And of course, he is uh, at times there is a lot of humor in what he says, and that's kind of
Yeah.
attracted me. And then I started playing online. That's when after that I started playing online. So chess.com, and there is an app for playing in the mobile called Real Chess. So that's all started then. And then I never knew that you can play chess on Facebook as well. So one of my classmates from school, again, he invited me to play, and that's how, then everything started, that you play across all platforms. And that's how it has been. And I think in year back there was another rating tournament, which was a physical tournament, which was happening in Delhi, Greater Kailash 2. So that was the only time I could participate in a tournament. And post that, again, the lockdown came, and then of course there was no scope for that. But I'm playing online.
So, what is your chess strength like? So, this is a wonderful chess journey that you started. You was just your father taught you. Even I was taught by my father, and then gradually you progressed, and later you self learned and played with your friends, and that's how it improved. And later on, you started exploring the online platforms like chess.com. There's lichess as well, which is pretty good.
Right,
And
right.
Ben Feingold is a very good presenter. There are many other presenters also. Ben has got a unique style of introducing humor and presenting it, so that his videos are pretty good. There is an Armagador channel as well. His channel is also pretty good. He analyzes past games of Grandmasters, and he has got a very nice style as well. So tell me about your chess strength, like how and did it improve after the attending our program, Chess Roadmap to Chess
Sure,
Mastery?
sure, it did, because earlier I used to make lot many more mistakes, and of course, if you play randomly, not knowing the concepts like control of the center, you castle early as possible, and protect your king first, not making too much of repeat movements of a piece. These are the things which. Unknowingly, of course, sometimes you used to do and sometimes you don't. And but now what this course has done to me is that it has made me more conscious. So the the careless silly mistakes that we would normally do, if you play just randomly, I would like to believe I have started avoiding that to a great extent. And in terms of improvement of the ranking, of course, when I started with chess.com, they give a very preliminary ranking, and now I have made my journey, say starting from say 800, 900 to around 1300. Of course, as I
Wow.
mentioned, it's a work in progress, so you have to improve from there. Lichess I got into much later. My lichess ranking would be again in the 1600, 1700 range, in between that.
1600 is not bad. It is a intermediate rating, so you can
Right.
improve upon that rating.
Sure.
So the program has improved your or made the fundamentals strong, and you're conscious
Right.
about certain things that you should be following while playing a game, other than
Sure.
making random mistakes, right? So
Right.
you are able to
Right.
avoid the mistakes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, tell me about your experience with the Roadmap to Chess Mastery program. What are the key takeaways, if I may ask you, from the program?
So one is that, of course, as I mentioned, learning the key principles, if I may say so, that is one thing. Second, the thing is that it also teaches you how to think. In terms of it's when an opponent makes a move, we need to really analyze and think that what is the purpose of that move, and of course, what is coming next. Honestly speaking, I never used to think in that fashion earlier. So what it also makes you do is, and of course I didn't share this with you before, because you know we went by a program schedule and we this that, but this definitely I identify itself as a, you know, an added, if I may say, benefit that I got. And sometimes it also, you know, I can correlate that with our day-to-day life also, that, you know, you start thinking, and though when it comes to chess, it's like you start thinking what the opponent's move will be. But when it comes to real life, if I correlate this, I tend to nowadays think like what I should do next, you know, in our day-to-day life, you know, in terms of the moves, also the long-term career moves and things like that, often which I never used to think. So what my wife always mentions, that I'm not someone who plans thing in advance, and you know, I'm not that kind of a person. So that's where I would like to believe that's where both on the personal front also this has helped me.
Wow, so you just answered my next question. I was about to ask you how chess has helped you in your professional and personal life. So has it helped you in your professional life as well, Avro?
Sure, it has, because what happens is that when I talk about our day-to-day life, of course, a major part of our life involves our office life, right? Our work life, we spend almost 70% of the time, you know, in a day's schedule, you know, working professionally. So, of course, it has helped. It helps in improving my communication, you know, with people. And of course it helps you prepare yourself well, you know,
Great, great, amazing.
wherever the preparation part is concerned. I think the key takeaway for, you know, both professional and personal life will be preparation.
Preparation, yes. Do you think that everybody should learn chess to improve their personal and professional life? Will it? Is it?
I
Do you
think so, I
advise?
think so. Yes,
Yeah,
of course, of course. I do advise, and I think it's a wonderful thing. You know, one, you are involving yourself in a sport, you know, and of course you would also have that competitive instinct that will get developed. But also, you know, it prepares yourself for life, and also, so when you lose to a higher ranked opponent, or even by doing a silly mistake, also it plays a part to prepare you psychologically. So that,
right.
you know, when these defeats come, you know, rather than getting dejected and demotivated, of course it would happen momentarily, but again you prepare yourself and try to turn things around when you play the next game. So I would say, you know, psychologically, mentally also it plays a great role, and I would like to believe that it would help all, you know, if one tries to learn chess and tries to imbibe the learnings. I am sure it would be of great help.
So,
Sorry,
yeah,
only thing which my father used to tell me, and now I feel, because all the free time I try to play and all, it's that it can become quite addictive.
yes, yes. But it's a good addiction actually, rather than getting addicted
Yes,
to
yes.
negative stuff. So I
True,
always say
absolutely.
that chess teaches you to accept defeat with grace. You know, even though you're lost, you have respect for your opponent, and also you can win. You prepare yourself to win another day. So that is that. In that
Sure.
way, it helps us as well. And it's interesting that you touched upon psychology as well. That in everyday life we have to use psychology, and psychologically you have to be strong. Emotionally, you have to be strong to face a lot of real life situations. So chess actually helps you to accept and prepare you to face certain difficult situations, challenging situations in life, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Would you recommend this roadmap to chess mastery program to all those who wants to learn chess? And in your opinion, who should enroll for this program? I mean, an absolute beginner or someone who understands chess a little bit?
I would say that even for an absolute beginner, the course will be useful because in the very first class, the way you have navigated and taken us through, I would like to believe even if I would have not known anything, if it would have been my introduction to chess as well, I think it's pretty good. Means of course, as you also mentioned during the course that you need to practice at your end, and of course you need to take it further. The onus lies on the person who is taking the course as well, but I would like to believe that even for a starter, it won't be that difficult because the way you have conducted the course, and it has been quite a smooth learning phase. So, and of course, the other thing that's very helpful is that when you, other than the normal classes, when you mention about the additional classes where players can clear their doubt, or anyone who is taking the course can clear their doubts in a separate session, I think that that is also a great thing because sometimes what happens is people, it takes time to identify your weaknesses, or to have those questions with you, and sometimes you might hesitate to upfront ask in the very first or the second class because my queries can be very basic, right? So this personal attention and that approach, I would say I loved it.
Thank you so much for the kind words, Avro, and it means a lot to me. And also, it will inspire a lot of future, wannabe players who wants to take up chess in a positive manner. And before we go, one final question: who is your favorite player, and what is the future of chess for you? And future plans to play tournaments, or would you like to take up the game as a hobby and play more tournaments once the COVID situation improves and we are able to conduct, they are able to conduct tournaments.
Sure. So, as far as favorite player is concerned, of course, from being an Indian, Vishwanathan Anand is one name which would always come to mind. But if I look at internationally also, so when I was a child and when I grew up, a lot of the time, Gary Kasparov used to dominate the tournaments and everything. So later on, I must confess, I did a master class of Gary Kasparov as well.
Ah, wow.
And earlier, I thought, if it's a master class with a person like Gary Kasparov, so probably everything will go above my head. But thankfully, no, it was very enlightening, and I quite liked. He shared his games and explanation from there as well. So Gary Kasparov happens to be one. And if I go back to times when I was not born, and if I go back during those phases, the games which I refer to now, then I would say probably Murphy and Fisher would be the other favorites. I know you had asked for only one favorite, but
No, no.
but
You can have multiple
uh,
favorites. That's okay. I mean, even all the players you have mentioned, like Murphy, Fisher, Tal,
hmm,
Anand, Kasparov, are
right,
all my favorite players. But all the world champions have contributed in the development of chess,
right,
and I would suggest you to learn all the the games of the world champions and also the challengers. Some of the best players who have not become world champions as well, like Rubenstein, like Paul
right.
Keres, and there are a lot of others, Ivanchuk. So, one more thing I want to ask you actually, how was the experience of group coaching? Like we had few people in a room, right? And we were
Right, right.
I coaching you online. So, how was the experience like? Was it, is it a good
So
thing or?
for yeah, definitely it was a good thing because when the fellow participants ask questions, and when you used to ask for probable moves, what I could how it has helped me is that the different ways of thinking, the
Mhm.
way the other participants are thinking, and you get to learn a lot from their queries also, right? So I would say it's a good thing that if you are learning in a group, it always helps. and then they, though it didn't so far materialized in having a partner, maybe, where you can play and practice, but they again, that can be a great opportunity. But when you learn in a group, of course you can identify, you can say a buddy player, and you can practice more. But other than that also, during the class itself you get a lot of learning, because maybe I would have two questions, but two questions each from each of the participants, I get to learn more about the other 8-10 queries that might come up.
And one final question before I let you go is that what made you register for our program? There are lots of programs out there during lockdown, especially. So, what made you register for Roadmap to Chess Mastery program?
So one thing is that, honestly speaking, I went through your profile, and I could see that, at least, your track record and your coaching experience and training experience is out there in the open, right? So it becomes very easy for me to, decide that, okay, I am going to get trained by an established chess trainer. And of course, then I had called you and we had an interaction. And of course, once you speak to a person, you know that you will be comfortable learning, from the person from whom you are learning from. So so comfort is one factor, and second factor is, of course, you want to learn from someone who is an established name as a chess trainer. So these are the two things which I would say help me decide on this.
Thank you so much, and you have been a wonderful student as well. You know, you attended
Thank you.
all the classes, and you are very enthusiastic, and you are asking the relevant questions also, and you are practicing regularly during that period. So I don't know if you are practicing now because you might be held up
Yes,
with your
yes, I
work.
am sorry I missed out answering that part there, in terms of future plans. So I am practicing, and I try to register for, of course, sometimes what happens is the time doesn't match, but there is a platform like FIDE Online Arena. So now I have registered there. So you get to come to know about the tournaments that's happening. And of course, whenever I get time, I am getting into chess.com and lichess and trying to learn there. And I am looking forward to, actually participating in real tournaments, once this lockdown phase is over. I'm pretty sure that probably by, if not in the early phases, by end of 2021, I am assuming we will have things normalizing further, and probably those tournaments will also start.
Let's hope so. And I'm also hoping that, by the end of 2021 or third quarter of 2021, we would have tournaments reopen in India and we can participate in real life
Sure.
tournaments. And probably we might meet in one of these tournaments that might happen. And it's been a while since I played tournaments, but online tournaments is a different game, ball game altogether. But real life tournaments is something uh, you should experience the nerves and the pressure and the fun that it goes with it and
Right.
interacting with a lot of people. So it has been wonderful talking with you. It was fun and it was interactive. It was informative as well. And thank you so much for your time. And I wish you all the best for your future endeavors, Avro.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It has been a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Yeah. Pleasure.